If you want to be scared, you don't need a horror movie. Just come to my channel, because this is where the creepiest real-life stories are shared. Today, we're going to look at disturbing Reddit stories that actually happened, starting from the least disturbing to the most terrifying. The creepy gym teacher. We've all had a teacher we didn't like. But one Reddit user shared a story about a gym teacher so disturbing that he might have been the worst teacher ever. His name was Mr. Max. Mr. Max didn't seem like someone who would cause problems. He was in his 40s, always smiling, and well-liked by the school staff. Other teachers thought he was passionate about helping students reach their full potential. Then one day, he came up with a strange idea. He wanted to add yoga to the morning gym classes. Honestly, it didn't make much sense. Why yoga? But Mr. Max gave a long speech about how yoga improves focus and flexibility. He sounded convincing enough that the school agreed to try it. What the school didn't know was that Mr. Max had a disturbing reason for bringing yoga into his classes. Not long after the yoga session started, things began to get weird. Mr. Max clearly favored the female students. He ignored the boys while constantly helping the girls with their poses. Then there were the poses he chose. His favorite was always the downward dog pose. And if you know what that pose looks like, you'll understand why it was inappropriate for 6th grade students to be doing it in front of a grown man. But things got even stranger. A few weeks later, Mr. Max convinced the school to allow the girls to wear skirts during gym class, while the boys continued wearing shorts. Then came the weirdest part. Mr. Max planned a beach trip for swimming lessons. While they were there, he constantly walked in and out of the changing rooms. Nobody knew what he was doing. Even with all this strange behavior, nobody questioned him. After all, he was an experienced teacher with a clean reputation. Until everything was exposed in a single day. In 2016, Mr. Max appeared in the news, but not for a good reason. He was accused of secretly recording students while they changed clothes. Apparently, he used a hidden camera disguised as a pen. First, nobody believed it. How could someone like him do something so horrible? But then he confessed. And somehow, his confession made everything even more disturbing. The yoga classes were never about helping students. Mr. Max kept the hidden camera pen in his pocket and secretly recorded students while pretending to help them with their poses. He did the same thing during the beach trip. And the worst part? He wasn't keeping the videos for himself. He was selling them on the dark web for money. Eventually, the police caught him and stopped everything. Even though the exact court result was never fully revealed, one thing is certain. Mr. Max paid the price for what he did. The dream that came true. Some people believe dreams can predict the future. One Reddit user shared a story about a dream that predicted her father's death. Let's call her Julia. When Julia was 17, she went to sleep like any normal night. But what she saw was far from normal. In her dream, a dark figure appeared in her bedroom doorway. It was tall, faceless, and had no eyes. Then it spoke. "Your father will die when you are 22. Then Julia woke up. The next morning, she told her family about the dream in a panic. The part that terrified her most was that sentence. "Your father will die when you are 22. Her father tried to calm her down. "Now that you told me it won't happen," he said. He promised to be more careful. But some promises can't stop fate. When Julia turned 22, her father died in a tragic accident, exactly like the shadow figure predicted. And according to Julia, only 3 hours before he passed away, the last thing they said to each other was, "I love you. I'm not alone." This Reddit story is about a woman who experienced something horrifying inside her own home. Let's call her Sophia. Sophia lived alone and never really felt unsafe. But then strange things started happening around the house. First, it was small things. Her groceries were disappearing faster than usual. Sophia thought maybe she was just eating more than normal, or maybe she was being forgetful. But the weird things kept happening. She became certain that food was disappearing from the fridge. Then dishes she never used started appearing in the dishwasher. Wet towels showed up in the laundry basket, even on days she didn't shower. Then the noises started. Thumping sounds coming from the attic. Was it the wind? An animal? Sophia was scared, but she needed answers. One day, she grabbed a flashlight and climbed into the attic. The moment she got there, she realized the truth. Someone was living in her attic. There was a sleeping bag, a radio, hot plates, and food wrappers everywhere. But the person wasn't there at the time. Sophia immediately called the police. The police believed the man was climbing in and out through the attic window, so they started watching the house. Not long after, they caught a man climbing a tree trying to get back into the attic. The man confessed to everything. Whenever Sophia left for work, he would come downstairs, eat food, and use the house. When Sophia came back home, he would either leave or hide in the attic again. But the story didn't end there. When Sophia saw the man, she actually felt sorry for him. He was homeless and struggling to survive. Instead of pressing charges, Sophia helped him. She let him stay temporarily, helped him find a job, and allowed him to stay in the attic until he got back on his feet. Most people wouldn't do that, but somehow, Sophia turned a terrifying story into a surprisingly wholesome ending. The screams at night. Around 2021, a question went viral on Reddit. Night owls. What's the creepiest thing you've ever heard at night? One answer stood out more than the others. Let's call the guy Ryan. One night, Ryan was home alone with his dog when he heard screaming somewhere in the distance. First, he ignored it. There were a lot of kids in the neighborhood. But 15 minutes later, the screaming came back, closer this time. Then again, and again, his dog started growling. Even though the doors were locked, Ryan no longer felt safe inside his own home. The next scream sounded like it came from right outside his bedroom window. His dog went crazy, barking and scratching at the glass. Ryan hid under his blanket in fear. When the screaming finally stopped, he looked outside, but nobody was there. Then suddenly, police cars flooded the neighborhood. Officers searched the area with flashlights. The next morning, Ryan asked his neighbors what had happened. What he learned shocked him. A dangerous patient had escaped from a nearby psychiatric hospital and had been running through the neighborhood screaming. Even worse, the patient had a knife. And apparently, the escaped patient had been hiding underneath Ryan's porch the entire time. If Ryan had gone outside, he would have come face to face with an armed stranger. Thankfully, the police arrived in time, but Ryan still hasn't forgotten that night. The worst date of my life. In 2022, a Reddit post went viral. Its title was, "I went to a serial killer's house. Let's call the guy Joe." Back in the 1990s, Joe used online chat rooms to meet people. One day, he started talking to someone named Fitmen21. The guy seemed funny and friendly. But then Joe received a strange email. "My friend met this person, and he did horrible things to him. Please be careful." Joe was creeped out, but curiosity got the better of him. Eventually, Fitmen21 invited Joe over to his house. The moment Joe stepped inside, he felt something was wrong. The house was almost completely empty, barely any furniture. Then the man locked the door using a heavy deadbolt lock. Joe immediately felt nervous. Later, they walked into the kitchen. Instead of a dining table, there was a large metal table that looked like something from a morgue. The man explained that the building used to be a medical office. Most of the rooms were dark, and several doors had locks on them. Finally, Joe couldn't take it anymore and asked, "What exactly are you planning to do here?" The man panicked. Joe immediately left the house. Years later, Joe saw news reports about several missing men from that same area. One of them had been found dead. All of them were men looking for dates online. To this day, Joe still wonders, was that guy actually a serial killer? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to keep making more videos like this. Love you guys. Stay safe.